Football week one. Chris Carter jersey on. Right some foam finger. Ready to roll here for week one. Really good to have fans back. Fans. As we kill the music. Great to have fans back in the stands. Really excited to see all those college football fans. Great to see Tampa Dallas game. Dallas played pretty well that first night. I think it's got to be encouraged if you're the Cowboys. Lose a tough game on the road like that against the defending champs is always good. It's just good to have pro football back. That 1 o'clock time is everything. And yesterday being 9/11, a lot of emotion charged into this football season. But here we are and telling like it is pro football week one. We're here every week. Some weeks we'll have guests who do some fantasy stuff for you. We like to make predictions every week. We go by the line. Anybody can try to predict who's going to win the games, but I'll try to give you picks. But I want to be honest, man. Vegas this week with 7 games on the 3-point line. I mean, that's a sense of humor. I mean, dude, can you give me 2.5 or 3.5? I mean, I'm not a gambler, but geez, that's hard to pick 3. You're going to get a lot of pushes this week, would be my suspicion. And so obviously we can only pick 15 games because the Thursday night game already happened. But going to try to have some fun. Try to give you maybe an upset special of the week, although many of you might not feel it's an upset. That's okay. You can disagree. And we'll try to give you the game of the week, which means, in my opinion, the teams that the 2 best teams that are playing total. And so what that means is it doesn't go by importance. It goes by like the Browns and the Chiefs, probably the 2 best teams that are playing each other, as opposed to maybe the Steelers and the Bills, which is another good game. But there's some big games out there. But everybody likes to get off to a good start in the week. And I think there's some tough lines. I think there's some teams that will definitely win games but not cover. But that happens every week. And so we're going to have fun. Knockout pool picks this week. It depends how your knockout pool works. Most, you know how it works. It doesn't go by spread, just goes by wins. And I guess I got Rams and Rams and Niners this week in the knockout pool. But we'll see. We'll go with that. So we'll talk about all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. So good to be here. First one I've ever done for a Pro Football Week 1. It's really exciting stuff. And again, getting out of the box is great to be 1-0. So we'll see how that goes. This really should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. Start out with Steelers at the Bills. Obviously, Buffalo's favored by 6.5, and it is a weird game for me because Rosie just jumped into the booth, man. That's Rosie. She just jumped in. She's under contract again. She came back from more Biskies, I guess. But that is a weird game for me because of the Bills. I feel like, they're going to be a good team, obviously, but there's a little bit of pressure on the Bills. They're supposed to take that next step. But the problem is when you're the Bills, what is that next step? The Chiefs are still sitting there. And then you got the Browns sitting there. All right. So you got a big situation here where you have tough teams in your conference and you're supposed to take the next step. But I think the Steelers have still got some weapons. They're still a dangerous team. So I'm going to pick the Steelers to cover, even though the Bills, I think, 6.5, I think is a big line. I could see this one going either way. But I think the Steelers could definitely make this happen. Hawks at the Colts. Hawks favored by 3 is really weird. Again, you're on that line again. Hawks at the Colts. I think the Hawks will. I'll have to pick the Hawks in this game. We'll tell you how our record was every week, and we'll be honest about it. I just think the Colts, we're going to see how healthy Wentz is. I think the Colts are well coached. Obviously, Frank Reich does a good job. You never know what's going to happen with Pete Carroll. Russell Wilson just has a habit of playing close games. So this is such a tough spread. But I'll take the Hawks on a late touchdown from Russ. Then we got the Cards at the Titans. My man Billy Schneider, living in Nashville, big Titan fan. Also a big Jet fan because he's a transplanted New Yorker, so we'll wish his squad well today. Cards are tough. Murray, I think a lot of people have forgotten about this team in the preseason. He's such an electrifying player. They have lost some talent at the wide receiver spot, but at the same time, Titans do play close games with that great ball control, and Henry is such a beast. I'll take the Titans at home with the 3. We'll see how that goes. Chargers at, I'm going to say it, the Redskins. Till they get me a name, I'm going Skins. I'm going to take the Chargers. I think the Redskins have a great defense, but I just still think there's such a mess with all this controversy with about names and stuff like that, and God knows what else is going on in this country. Vikes at Bengals. Vikes by 3. I'll take that. I'll take that number. Hoping that we can maybe win by a touchdown. Bengals are going to be much improved. I'm glad I'm playing in week 1 and not week 2. I think the Bengals are going to be a much improved team. quarterback is obviously a stud, and we're going to have to hope that Dalvin keeps us alive. The only thing that scares me about my Vikes this year is the amount of egos and personalities on the team. I don't need wide receivers bitching about their touches. Our best player is Dalvin Cook. Deal with it, wide receivers. Don't give me your goddamn bullshit. Dalvin, get the rock. Period. Niners at the Lions. Okay, I got the Niners favored by 7.5. I think the Lions will cover. I mean, the Niners are going to win the game, I think, but I think the Lions will cover at home, 7.5. So I'm going to go with that one. I think Joey G has a habit of playing close games as well. We'll have to see what happens with the Lions. I mean, it's a franchise that's kind of been jinxed a little bit, but Stafford made them dangerous every week. And as even I'm a Viking fan, I have to say I have total respect for Stafford. Then we got the Eagles at the Falcons. It's kind of the game this is the most boring game of the week in my mind. I mean, the Eagles, we just don't know what's going on. New coach, I mean, they Hurts I like. Just don't have enough. They have enough around them. Falcons. I mean, again, we got Matty Ice, but we lost some guys there. We lost Julio. So I mean, what are we getting out of this? I don't know. I'm gonna take the Falcons at home with the 3 again. Another strange line. Jets at Panthers. I love this game. This could be my upset special of the week. I could see the Jets winning this game. Be my upset special of the week, winning the game outright. If I had to pick, though, I guess I'd pick the Falcons. Not the Falcons. I guess I'd pick the Panthers to cover. But I can see the Jets winning this game. That's the game I think could be an upset. I guess I don't know if you fans want to call that an upset, a 4-point spread. I don't know. I'll be up to you whether you'd like to deal with that or not. But I think this could be the upset special week. I think the Jets are going to be better than people think. But then again, the division is rough, and we'll see. But I think the Jets could get off to a decent start. And the fans up here, the crazy Jet fans, it'll be overreaction Monday no matter what. Jags at Texans. I love when the NFL does this. This is one of my favorite things about the NFL. And I told you many times I'm a big schedule guy. I feel like last year the Texans had the worst first 5-week schedule as far as difficulty, the hardest I've ever seen in my life. They got off to an 0-4 start, or maybe 0-5 start, and they were one of the best teams, I thought, in the AFC. And I think the schedule just crushed them. I think they were a good team, and then they were much better than their record. But a schedule can kill you. But I like when the NFL takes 2 teams that are supposed to both be down and lets them play first. And I tell you why, it gives one fan base hope after they win this game. And that's why you should do this. That's why you should start these seasons like this. And of course, this is a division game, so usually you don't get 2 in the same division in this mode. But this is good because one of the fan bases is going to come out of here 1-0 probably, unless we get a tie, and they're going to be feeling good. So I love when the NFL does this. I think it's a great thing that the NFL does. If they're doing it on purpose, who knows? Maybe they're not. But I feel like they are doing it on purpose, and I love when the NFL does that. Take 2 bad teams, give them a game versus each other. I think it's a great idea. Somebody comes out of the shoot 1-0, gives the franchise some life. Browns and Chiefs is the game of the week. 2 most quality teams on the field versus each other. I think the Browns are going to cover. Obviously, it's tough to win at Arrowhead, so I'll take the Chiefs to win the game, but I got the Browns to cover on the pick. And again, these are just going by the lines that I saw this morning and yesterday. Packers at the Saints. It pains me to say this, but I'll take the Pack. They're 3.5. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I hope the Pack lose. I want the Saints to win the game. So I'm hoping I get one wrong here. I'll be pretty pumped about that. Fins at the Pats. I'm going Pats here. Pats, I think, are going to be a little bit better than people think. They're at home by 3. So I'm going to take Pats. I think Bill's pissed off a little bit. I think he was taking names. I feel like Kentucky and college basketball being the same room. People taking names of who was criticizing them last year. We got the Broncos at the Giants. Tough game to pick. I think the Giants offense is going to be much improved, but that Bronco defense is too. And Broncos a favorite on the road. Never easy. I'll go with the Bronx. Okay, again, probably going to get a lot of pushes here. Then we got some great games. The Bears at the Rams. Rams favored by 7.5. I think the Rams will definitely win the game, but the Bears are going to cover. Bears defense is legit. But then again, Stafford with the Rams could be a Super Bowl contender. They're a scary team. And then, of course, we got the Ravens at the Raiders. Ravens so banged up. I think they'll win the game, but the Raiders are going to cover. I don't think the Ravens are going to win by 4. So I'll take that. So again, those are our picks for week 1. Game of the week, obviously, is the Browns and the Chiefs. I think the Browns had them by the guts. A couple of last year in the playoffs, could have won that game easily. My man Pat Fabian out there, former student, big Brown fan. His time has come. He's a Nick and a Brown fan. This past year, his time has come. Nick and a Brown fan. Obviously, Pat's doing okay now. He's got his teams on the winning track, so I think it's gonna be fun. It's great to be in week one. Like I said, it's great to get off to that 1-0 start because next week we'll talk about those pressure games and you have all those matchups of 0-1 teams and an NFL 17-game season. It's a little better this year as far as, length of time to catch up, but you get down to nut cutting time really quick when you have 2-0-1 teams there. And like I said, the schedule definitely has an impact because look at the Texans last year. This is a good football team. They get off to a rough start, lose a lot of tough games. I think it was 0-4, 0-5. And I don't know who they pissed off to get that kind of schedule. And then at that point, you're 0-4, 0-5. I mean, that's the land of no return. I mean, I don't think 0-4 teams have a history of getting back too much. 0-3 doesn't even have a great time of doing it, but some have done it, as we know. But it is rough when you talk about 0-4, 0-5. Fan base starts bitching, people start bitching, and all of a sudden it's a mess. And then Coach O'Brien got fired. I mean, it's just crazy. So again, week one, really looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Game of the week. You got to watch that Chief Brown game. Should be really fun. I think the Jets could pull this upset. That'd be my upset of the week. Although if you want to go with a 4-point spread as an upset on the road. But again, knockouts. I have 4 knockout picks in my pool. I don't play buybacks. So it's a big pool. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. So I went with Niners and I went with the Rams. I used 2 on each. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'm not out by the end of the week. And it doesn't go with spreads. It just goes with wins. It's going to be a really exciting pro football season. It's a lot of fun this time of year. It's just such a great thing. And, if there's anything crazy in week one, we'll have a reaction for you on Tuesday, maybe late Monday night. We'll give you a great reaction. And if it's not a crazy week, we leave that middle show between the weeks. Pre-games is optional. So we'll see if there's some big issues and passion, but definitely check us out on Spotify, iTunes. All right. We're on Instagram. All right. Subscribe. Let us know what you think, man. If you're a passionate fan of a team, you want to come on and talk about your team on NFL Sunday, Pro Football Sunday. We'll have a great time. You come on. We'll have a lot of fun. Take care. Go Vikings. And don't forget, we want Dalvin.